welcome to today's video blog. Today's video blog is going to be my May and June book wrap up. And a few books that I've read over the past few months, and two of them I have officially named. We're in July now, so I'm behind because, well, first there was the Lea Michele, Darren Criss concert from Glee that my sister and I went to, which was fantastic. Oh my god. Just, you have, like, Darren Criss was amazing. Lea Michele live is something else. Her voice is so pure and so perfect. I mean, this girl is just, she's not pitchy at all. Like, you know how, like, with some singers, you know that, like, in the studio, they clean up their voices and there's, like, technical stuff that happens or whatever. Lea Michele live is just perfect. I cannot even with this woman. The first concert I went to of hers was last year, and I was not prepared for that, and her voice made me cry. I mean, I can't explain what happened, and it just washed over me, and it made me cry. This time with her and Darren Criss, I was a little more prepared. I teared up, I choked up. Her voice is just beautiful, but I didn't cry. But anyway, so that was Darren concert, amazing. Then it was just the Evil Day Job. There were like a bunch of hopscotch shifts where, like, I would only have like one day off here and there. Like, I never had like 2 days off together to actually like have the time to take a day and film, because on my days off I would be doing all this like household crap and running errands and all that stuff. So that went for like a good month and a half. It was like that. I don't like those shifts, and so I try and get what I can done, but just filming sort of fell by the wayside. Like, I didn't have time. Because I need to have time to record a chunk of video so that I have videos in store, and so that I don't run out too much. So from the last video I did, it was an actual longer time since I had filmed, because I had those backup of videos to dole out for you guys. And then with this godforsaken heat, I am not made for the heat. I'm, you know, it's not like I'm from another country. I was born here. I know that winters are cold, summers are hot. But I find as I get older, I'm less tolerant of the heat. Like, I can't handle it. Thank God for fans and air conditioning, because the heat itself on like really, really sunny days gives me migraines, and those are not fun. So I had this one stretch where I was working, I think it was like 5 or 6 days, and they were these really brutally hot days, which my workplace, thank God, is air conditioned, but getting to work is miserable because you got the sun like pounding down on you. So those days, and I usually have where if it's like a really sunny day, then I'd get the migraine the day after. It would hit me then. Thankfully, in that one stretch, it held off for like the days that I was working, until finally, like the last day, I only made it like an hour or two into my shift before the migraine hit, and I had to go home. And I was like, it was just awful for like 2 days. And my third day was pretty much recovery, and then I went back to work and it was fine. So there was no filming done then. So I'm a bit backed up, but I didn't get a lot of paperback reading done. For paperback, I pretty much just have one book, and we'll get right into that. So the book that I read was A Blast to the Past by Virginia Farmer. And it's a time travel where it's the guy who actually gets sent back in time. He's a military guy and he's on some kind of mission, and this bomb explodes, sending him back into Scotland during the time of William Wallace. Um, I liked I liked the book. It was nice. It wasn't anything um, blown out of the water kind of thing. Um, but the love story was nice, and the only thing that I didn't really like about the book was that the time travel is never addressed between the hero and the heroine. Like, he goes back to the past, he falls in love with this woman. He has all these weird mannerisms and the way he talks, and she just chalks it up to him being from, I think he says he's from Ireland or something, which I wouldn't think Scotland and Ireland were that different. But don't shoot me! Don't shoot me! I'm just saying, as an ignorant person who doesn't know, they seem similar to me. Just in Scotland, they wear kilts. I'm sorry! Don't shoot me! But he never has the conversation, unless, did I miss it? I read the whole book. I finished it. He never has the conversation with her about having come from another time. The time travel is never addressed between them. He stays with her, happy ending, yay, everybody's in love and happy. But the time travel's never addressed. And I just thought that was really weird. I mean, if you're gonna make that a plot device, I think it's a pretty important conversation for them to have. But it's never addressed. The rest are ebooks. Oh no, first let me. I don't have the covers for them, so well I do, but you won't be able to really see them. I thought you might when I took a picture of it, but I grabbed a picture online of it, but I don't think that you'll be able to see. It's a duology, and it's from R.K. Lilly, who is one of my favorite new authors right now. And she wrote a duology that I am stating right now, July 2018, thus far is my favorite reads of 2018. 2017 was The Marriage Games and Separation Games by C.D. Rice. 2018, it's Breaking Him and Breaking Her. Breaking Him is the first book, Breaking Her is the second book, by R.K. Lilly. Y'all, this series is gorgeous. You have Rich Boy Dante and Wrong Side of the Tracks girl Scarlet, and they're these young lovers who they meet in school, and he's he's defending her from bullies, and they fall in love, and then but of course their families try to keep them apart, especially his shrew of a mother, who, oh my god, we'll get to her in a second. Then this horrific event happens and just changes their lives forever, because the mother uses it to tear apart Dante and Scarlet. I won't tell you how or what, but I loved this series so much. It's sexy as AF. It's sorry, the screen just kind of went to sleep on me. Um, it's sexy AF. It's angsty. It's soapy crazy sauce towards the end. Let me just say, but it's so good. I would highly, highly recommend it. I'm gonna see if there's a way that I can insert the covers here if I like edit it and try to do that. If not, it's Breaking Her, or the first one's Breaking Him, the second one is Breaking Her by R.K. Lily. And there's the only thing that I didn't like about the book was there's a one of the main plot things that happen or characteristics of Scarlet is this she is this insanely jealous girl, and that comes from, you know, being abandoned as a baby, and thinking that she's unlovable, and that she has all these insecurities and this terrible temper, and is jealous beyond belief. And there comes a point where she and Dante are they're together, and they go and they move to, was it Los Angeles? I don't remember. For him to do something. I don't remember what it was, and then she was gonna stay with him and you know, I guess like pursue her stay with him for a while, and then like sort of like pursue her dreams there. But she ended up being really unhappy being there. I mean, she loved Dante and all this, and but she felt like she wasn't able to fully pursue her dreams and her independence, and you know, follow her what she wanted with her life, because she wanted Dante, but she also wanted to have her dreams. She wants to be an actress. And so she makes the decision to leave Dante, and uh, I think for like a year, and which didn't sort of, in my opinion, mesh with the kind of character that she was. I mean, she was this insanely jealous, um, insecure woman, and yet she would leave the love of her life to go pursue her dream that she wanted, which fine for like any normal, for not normal, because I don't want to say I don't want to say normal, not normal, but for any other woman who didn't have those jealous sort of insecurities that were so fierce in her, it didn't make sense in my mind for Scarlet to leave him and to try and do like the long distance relationship, because of like who she was. And like it you know, created like it just felt, that felt contrived, her going off and leaving Dante, that part felt contrived. And that's the only bad thing that I have to say that I didn't really like about the book. Otherwise, I adored this series. Like, oh my god. I've been on an R.K. Lily kick. I've read Bad Things, which is her story of about Tristan and Danica, who's Tristan's a drug addict. And I liked that one, but there was a point where Tristan causes something bad to happen, and so Danica distances herself from him, and because of like she's finally had enough, and she's paid a heavy price for his addiction. And so years pass, and then they sort of start coming back together, and it's sort of, I kind of felt like he was forcing her back into his into this relationship because he couldn't live without her. And I just found him very pushy and manipulative about it, and it I liked it, but I didn't love it. And then there was Mile High, which I haven't finished yet. It's a 3-book series, I believe. I think it was Mile High, Up in the Air, and then Grounded, about James and Bianca, who Bianca had this horrible, horrible childhood where her father was abusive and killed her mother, and she has, and then she meets James, who, so she's very like closed off from men, and she doesn't do relationships and blah blah blah. But then she meets James, who James annoyed me a lot. He was very, um, I'm not one of those that like a guy has to ask consent for everything. Like, oh, is it okay if I touch you? Is it okay if I this? No, when I read my romances, I want, you know, passion, and you can, there are ways to um, imply consent and have that consent there without having to spell it out every single time, how a lot of readers today are complaining about that heroes don't do enough, that they don't explicitly ask for consent, and that needs to be more in. No, it doesn't. It's fine. Leave my romance novels alone. There are ways to do it that don't have to be taken completely, made completely passionless. But this guy James, Bianca, for like the first 2-3 chapters, turns him down at every corner. She's not okay with relationships. She wants no part of it. Um, but he keeps after her and sort of implying that he knows her body better than she does, and just because she um, finds him attractive and is turned on by him, he takes that as an okay to um, sort of impose his will on her, and that is sort of like he can tell that she's a submissive, and that means that like she wants to be dominated, and like fine in the bedroom, but I just felt like there were ways to do it where he didn't come off as a pushy stalkery ass. And like I liked the book, and as their like relationship developed, I was, okay with most of it. But there were just times where James was just too much. And she there were times where like she would ask for space and ask for time, and he would be messaging her like every 5 minutes, and like she'd be at work. She was a flight attendant, and then she'd get to the ground and there would be like 27 messages from him. I'm like, dude, chill. That would turn me right off no matter how sexy you are. Like I just, yeah, it so I wasn't overly thrilled with that series. I'm not finished it yet. It's at I'm on the 3rd book, Grounded. So we'll see how that goes. I also 2 DNFs that I had high hopes for, but just did not. Let me see if I can. No, that's not what I meant to do. I'm getting better at the the Kindle app thing. Let's see. How do you cover? Yeah, there we go. Her Big Sky Cowboy by Alyssa Callan. It was okay, but I didn't finish it because I think I got to like chapter chapter 8, and like nothing was happening. Like they hadn't even kissed yet. And I was like, okay, move along now. Like at least a kiss. But no, they were still like the attraction part was like still being explored and like explained page after page after page, and like I just okay, like let's go. This is a romance novel. Let's go. So I was like, there's too many books to read. I just moved on, and I moved on to the. I had high hopes for this one. I really did, because I love the cover, and just the premise was, beautiful to me. Was The Pawn by Skye Warren, excuse me. And I wanted to like this book. I did, but it just did not. It was chapter 18 where I finally gave up, because the premise was that the heroine, her father had wronged some people, and so was attacked and very badly hurt, and needed was basically like just bedridden, and so she had to take care of him, and they were going to lose their home, and they were pretty wealthy, but because of what happened, they were going to lose everything. Um, and so then one of, I think, the people who wanted to take revenge on her father, Gabriel, he set up this auction where the girl, what was her name? I don't remember what her name was, but where she would auction off her virginity to pay off her father's debts, and ooh, sorry, that's sort of, there we go. And save her home and all this. The action doesn't actually happen until chapter 18. And like this is supposed to be an erotic romance or an erotic novel. And Gabriel, of course, ends up buying her, because it's a romance novel. Of course he would. And nothing happens between them, and it's already like chapter 18. So I was like, this is way too slow. Way, way too slow. So I gave up on it. So, what am I reading now? Right now, I am reading this deliciously soapy. Oh wait, let me go back and get the cover. This just deliciously soapy, one of those like epic saga books about a family saga. It's Ruth Harris's Love and Money, Park Avenue Series 1. And it's about basically rich people with problems and this poor guy who starts off in this orphanage and, rises to the top and, like, falls in love with, so far, one woman, but I think there's going to be two women. It's one of those kinds of books, and I love those kind of books. So I'm quite enjoying it so far. Let me get back to it. Oh, let me continue. Go back to where it was. No, don't want to. Where I left off. I think it went back to the beginning. Oh well, I'll find it. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading right now, and really, really quite enjoying it. So that's going to be my wrap up for May, June. I think that's what it was. Um, so best books of 2018 so far is Breaking Him and Breaking Her by R.K. Lilly. If you have not read it, go read it. You will not be sorry. It's, again, sexy, um, romantic, angsty, and towards the end, there's like a whole heaping of crazy sauce that I really, really enjoyed. So that's going to be it for this week's video blog. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page at facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.